These are the fun ones now, so I call these the spinal dances, because there's ligaments on the front and the back of the spine which help to stop our spine from overstretching too much, but also as we move and our spine moves, we create a really great fluid drainage pump for those areas, the discs, the joints, the spaces where the nerves come out, the lymphatics for the spine. It's all great movements. So I like to split it into 3 different types of movements. There's either forwards, backwards, side bending, or there's twisting. So the forwards and backwards one is a bit like Mr. Bean at the disco. So first of all, we're going to need to get our hip movements correct, which is basically if you're not used to this, put your hands on your hips, tilt forwards, tilt back. If you find this difficult, then try to feel your thumbs dropping down and the fingers coming up at the same time, and then you can even try turning your pelvis. If you really can't find those muscles, then activate them by making your hands turn your pelvis, and then once you feel that motion, then get it moving in that way. It becomes a relaxed pump again, nothing too squeezy or pushy. It's a relaxed mid-range pump. Once we've got that pump going, think about just ducking the head down as the thumbs tilt down, and creating a C-shaped spine, then an S-shaped spine. C-shape, S-shape. Once you've got that going, you can stick with that until you feel you've got it. And then we're going to start swinging the hands forwards, coming towards the head. And we can start to get our shoulders pumping a little bit, so they go back into the S shape, forwards into the C shape. It becomes like a monkey playing an accordion, maybe. A very big accordion. And this is where it becomes Mr. Bean a bit, so we can play around with the motion. Stay relaxed, stay pain-free, stay ache-free, stay stiffness-free. Only go where it's comfortable, and that range will change over time. Start bringing the hands up into more of a salute. You can think about just bouncing into the back muscles if it's okay to, there's no problems. Then you can squeeze out the back muscles a bit, reach up a little bit into the S shape. Play around with your arm positions and shoulder positions. This is going to really help with your upper body lymphatic pump of the chest, getting those ribs really moving. Slow and long and stretchy, or fast and quick. However you feel. Variety is the spice of life. Next one is the side bending spinal dance. So here we go, we're just going to put our hands on our hips again and just feel, unlock and lock the knees. So just getting the hips to drop up, drop down and sink up. And it's really about getting the shoulders to drop as well, coming up, dropping down towards the one that's coming up, so we can get a fanning of the ribs on one side as we close the ribs on the other. Because this reflects on hand, we start to add hand motions. So get that rhythm. If you're finding it difficult, just stick with the pelvic motion, but then start the arms process. We can do a sort of more football version. I like to call this disco hips as well. Bit of Kylie action. And then we've got reaching up as well. This really gets a more of a squeeze, so you can bring your feet more close together a little bit, but don't go pushing. Just reach up, do long, slow stretch, keeping those knees unlocking and locking. And then also faster mid-range stuff, widen again. You can even do if you can get into that rhythm, keep that rhythm, do a punch in the air. Play around with that. Different placements of your hands. Play around. Fast or slow. The third and final spinal dance is the rotational one. So I find it easier to think about, again, the pelvis first. So we're just going to start walking on the spot. And hand to eye coordination and crossing over is good for the nervous system. So just slap the hands on the thighs for a bit, just to get into that rotational rhythm of the lower back and the mid back. And then we can start to turn over our knee that's coming up straight. So it's we're not crossing too much like this, just walking on the spot with the knees coming straight up, and then you're turning from the torso, your hands and your chest and your head, all turning like a robot over it. Relax once you've got there. All the while within these, come back to the breath once you've got the rhythm, and go slow with the rhythm and the breath. We're going to start to tap now, which is the same rhythm, but tapping our toes, stretching, 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 but relaxed, not pushing. It's just a nice stretch into the hips there, reaching out away from the toe that's pointing. Looking up at your hands, don't reach too back if you've got any neck problems. Just keep looking at the hands. You can do da 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 da, New York style. Oh, we could then become rocking the baby, leaning over. Again, don't push too hard if you've got any issues with spine. Just go tiny and let that range get bigger over time. So thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then remember you can like it and check the subscribe button, and this will help you to get hooked up with more videos as they are released. Please leave any questions or useful feedback in the comments below, and I'll do my best to respond as quickly as possible where appropriate.